Bull or bear? This is going to be a loud one, folks. It's a 1 pound silver round. Turn your speakers down. And she comes up a bull. I guess that depends on what metal we're talking about today. Good evening, folks. What's up? This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals. In another beautiful evening in Lauderdale by the Sea. Weather is getting much cooler at 86 degrees. I know that's not cool to some of you, but for us, it beats that 90, 100 degree kind of weather we were getting last month. Boy, it was hot. No less, take a look at this. It's just what a lovely evening out there. In fact, makes me wish I was this person right here, enjoying that. That water's got to be, it's 86 degrees out. I bet you the water's close to 80 degrees at least. Beautiful evening. Hope you're having a beautiful evening as well. Hey, listen, sorry I haven't said anything since last week. My last video, I did one video and then a little short video talking about the platinum tell that we've been noticing, and it kind of was spot on. The price of gold and silver had shot up based on that little tell. At least I think it did. Either that or I just got lucky again. Hey, let's take a look at spot prices here and see what's going on. These are the closing prices. Some pretty crazy ranges here. And silver, like I've been saying for a little while, just showing some real strength in my opinion, given all the headwinds it has had and all the nonsense monkey hammering that goes on in the COMEX markets in the silver market. But let's first start out with gold. 1920.15 currently. 1914 was the low. Was it the low? I thought it seemed like no, there was a low today, and a high at 1931. I think we were touching close to 1940, 1950 earlier this week. But gold has backed off a little bit. Supposedly has to do with the Fed actually maintaining their tightness and potentially, what did they raise rates? I forget. More Fed bullshit, more Fed speak, and that's supposedly why gold was down, and it may make sense to some degree. But silver, no, silver is showing strength. Pop, 22.84. Look at that, 23.50. We're sitting at 23.42, up 15 cents. And my normal tell, platinum down by $10, which is kind of strange. I wonder what this is going to indicate in the opening markets tonight, tomorrow. Again, I've been using platinum as kind of a tell, but silver really in the with platinum in the red and gold in the red, silver being in the green is kind of unusual. It really is. And again, just some unusual activity going on with silver out there. I believe that Ted Butler and a lot of others, and myself included, have expected a major shortage of silver out there. And I'm not talking about the retail stuff. Remember that my sales, SD sales, JM, all those guys out there, Atmex, all the guys I advertise to beat, and the local guys, all those, we all represent such a small segment of the precious metals markets. Most of these markets right here are traded on the large derivative CME group, especially silver. In the paper markets, really naked short positions, more or less, just huge amounts of paper. But investors do own a large amount of silver out there. They really do, but in different forms. ETF, physical silver holders and bars. We're a small segment of the physical holders out there. ETF is the, SLV and PSLV and some of those others are the largest holders of silver out there. Now, I know some people are going to say, no, they don't really have silver, but you know what? They do have the silver to back it up. Now, whether there's some shenanigans going on with people, large short positions in SLV that are because they couldn't put the silver back into the fund. And again, this gets complicated and stuff. Whether that's true or not, more than likely it is. But for the most part, SLV, PSLV, they do have the silver in stock, and that represents a huge amount of ounces there. But the ounces that are owed, for example, the Bank of America, the BOA situation is still around. Has BOA paid back or been able to close out that short position they had with JPM for, nearly 1 billion ounces of silver? That's huge. That's huge. If silver starts taking off, think about it. If you got a 1 billion ounce short position, every dollar represents $1 billion. A $10 move represents $10 billion. And that's just one major player out there, Bank of America. And according to Ted Butler, I know I always talk about Ted, but he's my kind of hero out there because he's smart. You gotta admire smart people that know what they're talking about. But I mean, there's huge short positions out there that are going to get really hammered when prices start to move up significantly. Now, will that be the CME Group's COMEX? Unlikely. I don't think so. Ted Butler also doesn't believe that as well. He doesn't believe that the default is really going to start at COMEX. It's going to start somewhere else, end up at COMEX maybe. But we could be looking at some really amazing stuff here going on with silver. Just, again, some strange stuff going on. I suspected that we would see $22, $21 silver. Well, we have seen 22, the high 22s, but even lower than this. But we have not really. I mean, are we going to see sub $20 silver again? I just don't see it at all. Are we going to see, like gold in that $1,750, $1,800 range? I really don't see it. Maybe $1,850. Now, the only scenario I can see where these prices are going to be significantly lower, except for platinum, poor platinum. You think the silver market is small and monkey hammered. Platinum is probably much smaller and more monkey hammered. These prices right here, folks, again, on the cheap. Gold is on the cheap, silver's on the cheap, platinum's on the cheap compared to anything else out there, in my opinion. I mean, especially silver. Gold is 7% off its all-time high. I don't think you can go wrong buying gold at this point, really, at all. Even at a higher level, I don't think you can go wrong. I think you're going to at least maintain your buying power at the very least, and gold will shoot up at some point. I mean, absolutely, especially with the demand that we're seeing worldwide for it in the Chinese markets, the Indian markets, which are starting to pick up, and in the other markets across the world, where people start to realize that which would I'd rather hold on to, a piece of paper or a commodity that's been around for 5,000 years and won't declare bankruptcy on me tomorrow, or won't degrade itself so its buying power resorts to zero like a fiat dollar would. But I digress here, folks. And what I'm saying is that prices are really cheap right now. Silver is showing some really interesting strength right there. And if you still got ammo in your, still got ammo, I would say, fire away, buy some more of this stuff. Premiums are really cheap on silver. Premiums are cheap on gold. They have been for a while, but silver premiums are really abnormally cheap in the retail silver markets for 100-ounce bars and 10 ounces and 1 ounces. And I'll get into prices here in a little bit too, give you a little kind of heads up what's going on with prices. All right, let's just take a look at the graph here. And again, the strength of silver. Let's see, hang on one second, let me do a quick refresh there. And what do we got here? September 21st. Look at the price of spot price of silver, 23.22 down to the 22.80, and then again back up today, above that overnight kind of market, and then look at this the day before. It's kind of some unusual strength here in silver, and that's probably a short covering or something like that, possibly short covering out there. Which I'm sure there's going to be a lot of when silver starts making its big move upward. And gold, kind of a little bit different here, on the downside, staying down there. Again, silver showing some really good strength here, which is unusual. Again, silver in the green, the other metals in the red. Something's going on with that market. And no less, after I say this, we'll shoot down to 22, 20. I'm just kidding. I don't know. And like Ted Butler says, these markets right here, the narrative that this gold market is ruled by, hang on, let's get over there, that the markets in gold and silver are ruled by what the Fed says is just total and utter nonsense, okay? I started thinking about this. Where does the average guy out there get his information, on silver prices? A friend tells him, hey, you should buy silver. It's a good deal. I think, I've been buying silver and all, blah, 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 okay? So the average Joe out there, the first thing he's going to do is probably go on a search engine and type in silver prices or something like that. But, here's what I think the simplest search term would be. So if you were to do a simple search term here, silver price forecast, look at this, 13 hours ago, This is the spin and the bullshit I'm sure the average Joe Blow gets out there when he starts to research silver. Now, if he gets into it, if he's lucky enough to find guys like Ted Butler and some good sites out there like Silver Seek and some of the good YouTubers out there that talk about silver and the price of silver, then he's lucky, but or they're lucky, I should say. But this is what they're likely to get here. Silver prices forecast. Silver's upside limited by Fed tightening. It has nothing to do. Silver prices have nothing. This is fucking total bullshit. Who writes this crap? But has nothing to do with Fed tightening and U.S. dollar strength. Nothing, nada. But folks, it didn't occur to me that what kind of garbage that the general public gets out there, especially again the non-seasoned people that aren't familiar with gold and silver, and this is what they get. Forecast limited by Fed tightening U.S. dollar. This is nonsense. You know why silver price forecasts are upside is limited. It has nothing to do with Fed tightening and U.S. dollar. It has everything to do with the crookedness on the Crimex markets, where you've got 4 to 8 big commercials out there that short these markets, cap these markets, spoof these markets. They've been caught for it. Has nothing to do with the Fed. And trust me, according to what I hear out here, these big commercials in the Crimex markets have completely broken the silver market as far as what the real availability of silver is out there. Remember, available silver is much more different than what the above ground silver is. A lot of people can say, oh, there's 1 billion ounces, 10 billion ounces of silver above ground. Yeah, in investors' hands, in the hands of manufacturers, industrial people, maybe a little bit in the COMEX markets where it's mostly short positions, naked short positions. But for the most part, that is not available, especially investment silver in the investment hands. It's not available. How much available silver is out there? That's the real question. And I think they've because of the criminality in these Crimex markets, in these naked short positions, and these huge paper derivative positions in the silver markets that they use to monkey hammer these markets around, shorts and spoofing and all that, this market is really broken. And when it gets to the point where the industry and the manufacturing guys start saying, listen, I need some silver, we need to buy silver, it's all bets are off. Because again, when does that not available, but when does that above ground silver in billion, 2 billion ounces, whatever it may be, I don't know how many billion ounces that's above ground in investors' hands and such, when does that become available and what price level? Meanwhile, you got to ask yourself what available silver is out there. And Ted Butler thinks that the 1,000-ounce silver bar market is dried up substantially, and that's the problem they're having out there. And I know some of you can point to SD that they got 10,000-ounce bars for sale, but remember, we are such a small part of this market, it's not even funny. And I would bet you with gold, it's the same kind of nonsense. Let's take a look here. If I'm to do a little search engine or hit that. Gold prices. I bet we're going to say thing the Fed. Gold prices dip. I'm sorry. I can't contain my laughter. Who writes this garbage? Who writes this freaking garbage right here? Gold prices dip as Fed ratchets up tightening bias. Has nothing to do with that, folks. Gold, silver, and platinum prices, and most probably these prices are driven in the derivative paper market world of the Crimex, COMEX markets. It's just a bunch of dudes going long, the dumbasses going long, and the big commercials running big short positions and spoofing out the longs, rinse and repeat, making money on fake paper contracts. Has nothing to do. There's no capitulation out there with real gold and silver buyers. The markets go down in gold and silver during Fed announcements, like I've said for years, when the big commercials use that as an excuse to monkey hammer the markets down, because they know that the algos and the managed money folks will go, oh my God, the Fed's tightening, we're going to get out of gold, because they're idiots. Anyways, I won't expound on that. There's people that are much smarter than me that can tell you all about that. Meanwhile, best deals out there, folks. What the hell are they? I think Gold Eagles isn't really the best deal out there, but at spot plus $123. Don't pay more than spot plus $123. Maybe a couple bucks more from your local dealer. Support your local guy, but try to get in that spot plus $123 or less on American Gold Eagles. and that would mean, like right now, say for example 1920, and I know you guys know how to add, but 123. So you really wouldn't want to pay more than $2,043 if gold was 19. Again, 123 bucks, no more on gold eagles. And again, I shouldn't be so definitive. No more than 123, 124, 125. Again, with your local dealer, buy them a beer. But meanwhile, that's kind of what we're selling them in small quantities here. Spot plus 123. As far as what's the best deal out there, it's still Krugerrands, man. Spot plus 185 bucks on Krugerrands would put them at. Again, I'm going to just type in 1920. I'm not going to put the change in. Plus 85 puts them at $2,005 per unit, which is a pretty good deal. Gold bars are still cheaper, but only $5 cheaper. So you're going to be buying gold bars at 2,000 bucks. And again, small quantities, larger quantities. Guys that buy larger quantities are going to pay less, obviously. A lot less, no, but less. And less means a lot on larger quantities. On 100 ounces, 200 ounces of gold, if you're saving 10 or 20 bucks or more, that represents another ounce of gold or so that you can buy. All right. Krugerrands. I was talking about Krugerrands, and no, those are not Krugerrands. Here are Krugerrands. I know most of you know what they look like, but did I even spell it right here? I think I missed something. Krugerrands. There you go. South African Krugerrands. And you guys know what gold bars look like. What else is out there that's not a bad deal? Spot plus 95 bucks on 4.9 maple leafs, as long as they're not scratched up or anything like that. Don't pay more than that. And what other kind of products out there? Philharmonics are maybe going to be around spot plus 100 bucks. Not worth it at that level. I'd rather buy a Krugerrand or or a maple leaf or something like that. I don't know why they're more expensive right now, but probably just because they haven't been produced and shipped out here in the quantities lately. Gold sales have been kind of a little tepid this summer and this spring for sure. And again, we've been red hot since 2016, so I figured some back off on retail sales or retail purchases by most Americans. Gold Buffalo, spot plus 123 if you like the pure stuff. Don't pay more than that. I'm going to move into silver. Silver is where the premiums are really a hell of a lot cheaper. Silver Eagles, for example. Man, my throat's dry. Give me 1 second here. Silver Eagles. Premiums have dropped substantially. My understanding is because the U.S. Mint has finally, done their duty in doing their job. I think some people have called them out on it, producing what they're supposed to be producing. Their numbers were down substantially, so that's probably why the premiums were so high. And it's a popular product, Popular products always have a bigger demand, even though that doesn't necessarily, a popular product doesn't make it any better than the other products. That's why when Silver Eagles were popping like 7, 10, 12, 20 bucks over on premiums at one time, I know it's crazy, but people were buying them. It's because of popularity. We were telling people stick with your 100 ounce, 10 ounce, and kilo bars, much cheaper at 2 and 3 and 4 bucks over at the maximum at the time. What in silver? 90%'s come down substantially too. Well, hey, I was going to give you some Silver Eagle prices. Don't pay more than spot plus $5 or $5.50 on American Silver Eagles. That's probably about what they are. A little bit more than that actually, probably $5.75, $6. But don't pay more than that. And again, that's still too much in my opinion. What's the best deal out there? 90%'s come down a lot, and if you guys are buying less than $500 in Florida, you get that sales tax exemption once you're over $500. But if you're under $500, the smaller investors in Florida can save money by buying 90% now. At spot plus 3.25, $3.50, it's not too bad of a deal. What else here? 100 ounce bars are just really cheap. I mean, what are they? Spot plus $1.85 to $2.25 in that range. Don't pay more than that. 1 ounce round, spot plus anywhere from $2 to $2.75, depending on where you go. But still not a bad price at all. And again, try not to pay more than $2.75 over. We've got them for spot plus $2.50, $2.25 or something like that here, and less. 10 ounce bars about the same. Kilos are a good deal at spot plus $2.35, $2.40. And again, it's larger quantities, we sell them for less. I'm just talking about small quantities. Stay away from things like Morgan dollars. And sorry, I wasn't posting some pictures for you on bars, but you guys know what bars look like. Morgan dollars. Some people are buying Morgan dollars to put away for like their silver value, and you know, the premiums are just pretty heavy on them, folks. You're going to be paying a large premium. Remember, there's only 0.77 ounces in a silver dollar. Now, I'm not talking about collector stuff. If you're a collector, great, buy silver dollars. But if you're a stacker in silver, you want to avoid them. The premiums are just insane. But you know, silver dollars are cool and they're fun to collect. But for stackers, want to stay away from silver dollars because again, the premiums are really high. Britannia's, silver Krugerrands, Noah's Arks, and a lot of other things. Availability is a little bit spotty out there. Another good deal out there might be silver maple leafs at spot plus. Like 375 to 4 1/4. Again, don't pay more than that. And that's small quantities. Well, that's really about it, folks. And by the way, here's my advertising. We advertise to beat Atmex, SD, and JM Bullion on their common, reasonably priced products in silver, gold, and platinum. And so if you live in South Florida, we're the place to come to. We also advertise to beat the locals as well. And if you don't live in South Florida, and you know, and you want to try to find a good price, I always recommend go to your local dealer first. All right, and if your local dealer can't provide you prices that are cheaper or about the same as Atmex, SD, and JM Bullion, then you know, you may want to order from them. And if you're looking for larger quantities, you can always call us on larger quantities because again, we don't have a website. We do stuff with bank wires, and bank wires are not cheap to do. So in larger quantities, you can give us a call, but I always recommend find a good local dealer if you don't live in our area here in South Florida on smaller quantities to find a good local dealer. Well, that's it, folks. Super short was really me. How long is that video, man? That's probably, God, I did a 20-second video. I actually was able to, hang on, ready? Here's my 20-second video. Hey folks, you know how I'm always talking about that platinum's been like a tell and kind of a canary in the coal mine when it comes to gold and silver, where they're headed. Well, platinum's up right now.
There's the
green.
green.
May have bounced off our bottom. Gold looks like it's following it, and silver lagging behind. But let's see what happens. I think gold and silver is going to be up tomorrow. I believe that was my Thursday video, and gold and silver was up. I think platinum actually, you know, it's just something I've been noticing for a while. And by the way, thank you on the few comments on that video. My video before that was exploded, 16. I can't, you know, for me, a lot of views on my video before that. But it was about banks closing my bank account. And that was a big subject, by the way, to touch on. It got many views with a lot of different places. But it's something that's happened to me, and I wanted to discuss it a little bit. And anyways. Make sure to check out my other videos. Hit that share, like button, and subscribe, and the little bell up there, which if you hit that bell somewhere on your page, it'll tell you when my new videos pop up. Well, folks, if you don't find me here on this particular social media format, YouTube, you can possibly find me here because I probably said something that wasn't liked, but that hasn't happened, so I don't think it's going to happen. We're talking about precious metals. I try to avoid politics lately just because I think we're all sick of it. That's it, folks. As I always say, think for yourself and question authority. Most of all, question yourself first. Makes it, you know, because we may be wrong. And the more we know and the more we're armed with better information, the better we are in life, I think, and the better we make the world around us. All right, that's it. Have yourself a wonderful evening. And if you're looking to buy any types of gold, silver, and platinum between $1's worth and millions of dollars worth, give us a call at Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals. We advertise to be Atmex, SD, and JM Bullion on their reasonably priced bullion products, and we also beat the locals as well. And a lot of people forget, but we do rare coins, and we do it very, very well. I should do a rare coin thing someday, but crap, I'm lucky to get one video out a week lately. So, all right, man. Thanks for watching. Have yourself a wonderful evening, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.